I need you to be able to identify the different organelles when looking at different diagrams. You'll see different versions, but pretty much you should be able to recognize many of the organelles just by some of the little things or some of the ways I describe them to you. So let's take this animal cell and we're going to actually go through and label it. So starting here at the bottom, you can tell that around the edge here is the cell membrane. So cell membrane, it can also be called the plasma membrane. From there, this one is showing some of those highways with the little dots on it, and those little dots are ribosomes. So this is your rough ER. And then this one is pointing to a tube or a thicker line around the cell, and that's going to be those microtubules that are part of the cytoskeleton. Okay, this is a jelly bean with a squiggle in it, and remember I told you that that squiggle, that is for the mitochondria. So the mitochondria looks like the jelly bean with a squiggle. If we're looking here, this looks like a piece of Twizzler to me. And so the Twizzler I know are going to be centrioles. And then the next one are the little dots just kind of floating around in the cytoplasm, which is going to make that our ribosomes. And then at the top, where you see that it's going for the thread-like or the little thin lines, those are the microfilaments. And then this here is starting to kind of look like a pack of, or a stack of pancakes. You can kind of see the bread, maybe possibly use your imagination. But I know that is going to be the Golgi body or the Golgi apparatus. And then from there, this most of the time is going to be attached to here, but they kind of look the same. It's just missing the circles. So that is our smooth ER. Here, this line is going to that part in the very middle of the nucleus, and I know that is going to be the nucleolus, the small dense dark part in the middle of the nucleus. This one is probably going to be a lysosome. I can say that sometimes though it will be pointing to something that looks more like that. It's kind of a back and forth on some of those diagrams, so just kind of have to pick on those. This is chromatin or chromosomes, which is going to be your DNA. And then finally the entire circle is going to be your nucleus. And so the very last thing is right here, and just because I've been looking at this diagram quite a bit, I'm going to say that's a vacuole. So a lot of times an animal cell will not even have a vacuole on it, and it's probably going to be the lysosome. So this is kind of what the diagrams, you'll see different versions of it, but look for those identifying markers. If you flip this over, for a plant cell, you'll see a lot of the same things. Difference here, you have a large central vacuole. Okay, everything else is the same except for this right here. This image right here, or if you're looking for the one that's labeled, it looks like a jelly bean with stacks of coins. And those stacks of coins make that the chloroplast. Okay, here's the jelly bean with a squiggle. That's the mitochondria. And the jelly bean with the stacks of coins is your chloroplast. The rest of it, I'm going to let you figure that out on your own. It's still working much the same way. The only bigger difference is that you will have a cell wall for a plant. Everything else can go back to the other side with the animal cell. They look very much alike. It's just those few things that are different. So be able to do that. Take this home. Study it as much as possible, because when you come back for your quiz, you need to know this. Bye, guys.